moment they've got 24. It's one of the lowest tallies ever for a side leading. The last time, a 35 by Ross Lyons Saints against Collingwood in 2010. So they've got a lot of work to do, Sydney, still.
Ben McGlynn subbed out of the game, and McVeigh goes long, and Riley, that was a pressure ball coming in. Not an easy one to mark, and Brent Riley, terrific grab. He's been superb, one of 5 Adelaide Crows in the All-Australian squad of 40, and the kick to the middle of the ground, and Doughty is okay. So Adelaide looking for a fast one. You wouldn't think they could leave it too long. Not certainly like they did in the third term, and Mattner got in the road. Good mark, man who knows this ground well. McVeigh, a little fumble. Mattner, though, in support. He goes long. Bolton, that's a good mark by Talia, the rising star. Hasn't been his best game this afternoon. He was subbed out last week. Dangerfield being hung on to. He can go, though. That's what Adelaide need to do. They need to run the football. Walker in front. Couldn't quite grab it. John Cock with the recovery to set Adelaide alight. It's back towards goal, and the Crows are within 3 goals.
A goal within a minute, or just over a minute and 5 seconds. That's exactly what the Crows needed. Brent Riley took the mark to intercept the first ball, and they would have loved that same mark to outmark Morton just before three-quarter time. But all you can do is play in the moment. The Crows have done that. First goal, really important now. They get a second one, make some noise, get some scoreboard pressure on the Sydney Swans.
We'll just show you something here. Benny McGlynn is on the bench right now in tears. This is the last time he kicked the football. We'll go back to that in a moment, but he's crying on the bench. He had the ball after the mark, kicked nonchalantly on his left boot, so he suspects something sinister with Ben McGlynn. He's in tears wearing the red vest. Goal to the Crows. Sydney by 18 points. And right now, Riley, as he did in the last term in round 6, desperately defending for the Crows. They won that in a cliffhanger. Malcheski in the middle. Right rides him. Thompson bullocks his way through again. It started to lift again this game. Now to Kennedy. Gives it to Goods. The quality combining Goods. Goes long. It'll hold up. In the end, Talia got a fist onto it. Smith waits for the ball. Gets around Morton. Gives it off. Gets it again. Well, Smith needs to find a target. Does well. McKay over the top. Now to Talia. They need to be clever here, the Crows. He gives it in the end. What can they manufacture?
So Rutten then off half-back. The kick is good, and Tippett marks inside the set of circles. He'll play on quickly. The lead is on from Paul Pleasure into the back of O'Keefe.
That's good play by Paul Pleasure. He's attacked the footy. He's made sure that Ryan O'Keefe earned that free kick. We talk so much in footy about being courageous, putting your head over the ball. These two clubs do that every day of the week. The Crows now need to be courageous with the way they use their footy.
How courageous then from Ryan O'Keefe, putting his body on the line. Bird in front, but Mike Pike at the back, too tall. He marks. Sydney with the ball in their hands. On the wing, they lead by 18 points. Just the 1 goal in this final term, and it was Adelaide's way.
Just starting to get a bit more free ball at the moment. Adelaide, they trail by about 40 in the uncontested football. That's where Sydney have done them over, but they're just now starting to pick that little pocket that's through the corridor. Well, kicks like that won't help them.
Free kick was against Reid to Shaw, no doubt about that.
Kennedy to Parker, just on the ground. The only teenager out there. He gets mauled the first time he touches the footy.
That wind, I still believe it's favouring right to left, which is Adelaide's way. So we saw Vince kick one from on 50, so that's an indicator.
O'Keefe cast in the role as ruckman, just sends the ball forward. Doughty's got to be good, is good, gives it to Smith. Off a step, hurriedly outside of the dangerous territory for the moment. Callanan outplayed in the end by Shaw. Hannaby received, gave it to Mumford and got it back. Hugs the boundary line. Inside 50, Shaw over the back to Bolton. Here's a chance. Parker around the corner. First kick, and it's a goal for Luke Parker.
Talk about making the substitution at the right time and getting the right man into the game. And full credit to Sydney. Everything they've done so far today with the selections from the coaching box have been superb. Before the bounce, obviously, bringing Morton into the game. He's kicked 2 goals, and now Parker injected into the game. One kick. He's been out there for 1 minute and he has kicked 1 goal. Sydney's lead back to 24 points.
The perfect sort of substitute player, Luke Parker. Plays it hard, plays finals type footy, great awareness. Has had a really good start to his young career, and that's been a terrific start for the Swans to repel the first goal from the Crows.
Yeah, so as they did late in the third term, again early in the first term, the answering goal from the Sydney Swans, and it's back at 24 points. It feels like it's been there for well over half an hour now. 25 points was Sydney's lead at half-time, 24 points at three-quarter time, and it's 24 points right now with 16 minutes remaining in the game. Adam Goods, bouncing ball for Bird. Maybe could have done better there. Riley's been superb. Handball back. That was nicely done by Vince to Dangerfield, who takes off through the middle of the ground. Handball over for Thompson. He sends a high ball down in the Tippett direction. Roberts, Thompson. Tippett's got control of it if the ball will sit. Didn't sit that kindly for him. Callanan, though. Rogues, kicks, goals.
Well, the Crows fans aren't used to losing finals. They've played 9 finals here. They've won 6 of them. And right now we're back to 3 goals, and Callanan playing his first final after playing so many finals here in the SANFL gets the Crows to within a pulse, and for all that he gets to wear a red vest.
Good contest here for a start off with Tippett, but Shaw made the mistake of running across and making 2-on-1, which left Callanan Callanan by himself. And once you leave your player by yourself like that, particularly that close to goal, you're going to pay a massive penalty. So
Callanan is now wearing a red vest, which means Aidan Riley is in the thick of finals football for the first time. What a time to come on. Team trails by 3 goals. Home crowd. Preliminary final up for grabs. At home. Here's a chance out the back. John Cock held. Didn't get the kick away. Umpire lets it roll.
Well, this is massive now. The Crows haven't actually kicked back-to-back goals for the entire game. So that's why the score's hovered around 24, 25 points. If they get another one here, you watch this crowd light up.
Jacobs, Mumford. Little flick from Shaw. Tough ball to win. Kennedy to the helmeted Jack, and he sends it to the outer side. Is it too hot? It is. A chance for the Crows. Momentum, you think. Just starting.
Crowd momentum, I think.
Yeah.
More than anything else.
I think the crowd is starting to really will and yell and get very, very noisy. And the next one, though, would change everything.
Totally agree with that, Hamish. And there's no doubt Bretton Sanderson would have talked about at three-quarter time. The Swans have given up big leads this year.
So inside they go again, the Crows. The Swans brilliant all afternoon. Shaw, again the Crows get an opportunity.
Yeah, well, you can't keep giving opportunities to a side like Adelaide. They didn't finish in the top 4 because they're no good. They're a very capable side.
Who's the target this time? Deep, Jacobs out the back, Tippett front spot. Can they somehow work it to Jacobs? LRT desperate. Richards brilliant. Bullocking through. Riley's just come on the ground. Pleasure couldn't get the kick through. In the end, Smith on hands and knees. Thompson there too. Parker just on the ground. Goods, brilliant. Sweeps the handball and finds his man.
Bird then plays on. Jack running for him. They willed the ball out of the defensive area then. That was superb football, Tom, by the Sydney Swans.
Really clever kick there by Bird. Can't you see the added bonus of having fresh legs? Both Aidan Riley, Luke Parker involved. They looked a level above everyone else then.
Well, we said it for much of the third term, but again now, how big the next goal. Matner, a long kick in the Pike direction. Rutten, experience, just threw him out of the way. Legally, said the umpire, and marks and goes short. And the mark taken by Aidan Riley, who's called to go. Lucky there, Reed slipped over. He looks upfield, and Talia, the rising star from on the logo, down in the Tippett direction. Kurt Tippett, almost! Not quite, he couldn't get it at the second attempt. Ball still alive, Richards. Handballs out towards Smith. He was superb moments ago with a tough tackle down on the line. Jack pushed off the football. O'Keefe, though, it's a time for tough customers. Who've got the toughest customers out there? Ball now, here's Goods running away from the wing. Can Riley go with him. Look at Adam Goods go. The 32-year-old pops it into space. What about the bounce this time? Morton for his third goal to be a hero for Sydney. It's across the face. Jetta might keep it in. Over it goes.
It was Morton on Vince. That was the mismatch that they tried to expose there. The Sydney Swans couldn't get enough purchase on the ball. Just see Tippett. Did he get enough of it, Mick? No, probably not.
Probably not, but there's a lot of work done on his body beforehand, though. That could have been... I think if he's had a home and away match, it would have gone back.
O'Keefe quickly offline.
Jeez, he's had a hell of a game, Ryan O'Keefe. That's now 32 disposals, 14 contested, 7 tackles, 6 clearances, 4 inside 50s. He is an absolute warrior. Had an outstanding 2012.
It was hot at three-quarter time, and it's gone up a notch. It's at boiling point this game now to half forward. Off hands, Portpleasure, John Cock, LRT just chases and charges and does it well. Waits the handball over the top. Terrific to Mattner, and Mattner's kick perfect to Malcheski.
Is he the most underrated player playing in Roberts Thompson? He just looks like... we know he's played on the back line before, but he's been so good on the forward line, and he's just fitted a hand in the glove on that back line. Just magnificent he's done today.
Malcheski, Talia front spot with Reed, out the back. Doughty did well, Jack did better. Just jumped in front. So the Crows have got to find 3 goals and change. 12 minutes to do so in front of the home crowd. And Brendan Sanderson, win, lose or draw, seemingly he doesn't change. He remains calm up in the box when every natural instinct is to do something else.
It's twice that's happened with Kieran Jack. I don't know whether he actually reads the man on the mark well enough. It happened the first quarter and that quarter.
So ball tossed in outer side. Mumford got his hands on it first. It ricochets back towards Dangerfield. Hanbury with the tackle and the ball very close to the line. Jack's kept it in. Not sure if he did the right thing. Eventually they get it across to Goods. That was well done. The handball came from Parker. Morton again. He's worked his way in front of Riley. He handballs off to Lewis Jetta. Running shot on goal to make it very difficult for Adelaide. Jetta has nailed it.
How good has his year been? Lewis Jetta, quiet month, brilliant year. All-Australian nominee, a lot of goals early, quiet month, but in a quiet afternoon, really.
He doesn't need space. He doesn't need the ball that often. He just capitalises so well.
Just a great response here from the Sydney Swans. They've held fat on that one. The mark was taken by Mitch Morton against Brent Riley. Just outbodied him one-on-one. And Lewis Jetta, 2 goals, 16 possessions. He's been good.
Sando searching for answers. Jack quickly forward. Brilliant. Bird at the fall of the ball. Morton wants it deep. Jetta too. Bird looks in the pipe direction in the end. Ignores him. Now he's found a free man going back with the flight. Parker couldn't control it. Talia Sloan. What can the Crows manufacture late in this game? They've got to find 4 goals and change now. And the Swans keep on keeping on. For all the efforts, the Crows haven't been able to get it within 18 points. They've got to 18 a few times in the last half. Back it goes inside 50. Reed unable to snaffle it.
Just met every occasion, haven't they? Every challenge that Adelaide's thrown down, Sydney have been able to come up with the trump card almost every time. And Goods is now roaming around that mid-forward line. He's very dangerous in setting them up.
Here's Jack. He got it quickly out of the pack. It was a good handball forward. It came from Bolton. Talia now right with him is the man that came in late, and he's been terrific. Mitch Morton, he marked that last one to give it off to Jetta. And Morton and Talia, well, they had no one in front of them. They had to keep running. They got to the line and over it goes.
Kennedy's been enormous in this final quarter too around the stoppages. He's had 8 disposals already and 3 clearances.
That's bad news. Talia with a wrist. He's holding that right wrist, and it doesn't look good. He's applying the old solo sling. He's using the Guernsey to get it up, and oh, that looks bad, Tom, really bad.
Yeah, it's just in the tackle on Morton. I think it was more sort of the roll. Sure, we'll get another look at it. Just watch here. It's a bit hard to really...
Looked innocuous, didn't it?
Yeah, look, really hard to tell there.
It's really bad luck for the Rising Stars. So Daniel Talia.
Shoulder or wrist?
Well, he seemed to hold his wrist, Mick.
He did certainly hold it, but you're just looking at that footage there. It's hard to work out how he would have only his wrist, but clearly there's something wrong with him. You just don't walk off like that.
Extraordinary to think Callanan only went off about 4, 5, 6 minutes ago.
Often the way, isn't it, Hayne? But you're not to know. And Sydney with a 25-point lead. That was their lead at half-time. It's incredible to think that it's been over 4 goals for so much of this second half, because it feels, and the sense is, it's so much closer than that. Dangerfield not done with yet. He takes off. He knows there's not much time. He gets through the middle. Did he run too far? Umpire says no. Big fly. John Cock at the back. There's nobody down for the Adelaide Crows. Shaw is there for Sydney. His handball towards the line. Thompson gets to his feet. Handball backwards now. Quick kick forward by Wright, but the mark taken by Shaw, and he'll slow things down. They'll start to eke some tempo out of this game, I'm sure.
The round of applause there for Talia coming off. He took a long time to get off, so the Crows there playing with 17 men for a long time. Lucky they kept the ball in their front half.
McKay now again looking for a tall target. Sloan might be the chosen one. Over the top he went, couldn't control it. The Swans again. Crumwell defend well to the outer side. Big battle. Ruttinen and Kennedy.
I don't think Adelaide are taking a gamble enough now with the scoreline like that is. They're coming from that wing. They're going straight up the line. They're loading up the centre with their free players, but not being used. And if they can open up their vision, I reckon there's a sure way home.
Well, the Swans right now have got the Crows in check. Can they put him into checkmate? Sloan, little give was good. Quick kick, Walker on the end of it. LRT again front spot. Again, Malcheski just picks and gives. And Kennedy's found. Gee, they've been good in the back six all afternoon. In fact, all year, the Swans.
It hasn't been a huge possession winner, but Lewis Roberts-Thompson looks really comfortable across halfback, makes really good decisions, puts himself into positions on the ground where the Crows look up and see him and have to avoid him, and therefore double guess themselves, cause a turnover.
Lewis Roberts-Thompson, 29 today, same as Chris Judd. They share a birthday. Only one of the birthday boys involved in finals football in 2012. Happy birthday to LRT. He'll celebrate if the siren goes, but not before. The ball close to the line. It's going to be thrown in. Sydney lead is 25 points. 8.5 minutes remaining.
The clock will keep ticking, and Sydney will keep at you. There's no question when you lead by that much.
Jacobs, O'Keefe got the kick away. Riley superb all day, and again he marks across half-back. Now they need to get it moving quickly. Here's McKay. Inside defensive 50. Now there's not a lot to go to. He'll come wide to Vince. Not a great kick. Vince has got some work to do. Bolton, the experienced warrior. He goes with Vince. That's a brilliant tackle. That's going to be holding the ball, is it? Gee, should have been, I think.
I think round 1 to round 23, Baz, that's a free. Finals, we seem to have just slightly different rules.
Had it there.
No attempt.
Had it there. Where's the genuine attempt we've heard so much about during the home and away season?
Exactly.
So right now, Jude Bolton will play game 300 in a preliminary final in Sydney. Kennedy, well, the check side, it's just going to fall short off hands. Who's there first? Thompson. Desperate now, the Crows. Time against them. The scoreboard against them. 5-10 to 10-5. Same scoring shots, 25 points the difference to the good of the Swans, and Mattner just intercepts again.
Yeah, that half-back line, just called it before, Hamish, that's been outstanding. And Roberts-Thompson, he didn't have a man in it, so he could have backed him up anyway. They've got a great line across this half-back line.
Mattner to Reid, off hands. Thompson, he's been the thick of the action all afternoon and all year. Now, right, little one over the top to Tippett. LRT again, just got there, just did enough. Jacobs quickly to Walker. Richards, he did enough too, maybe. Petrenko wants the bounce to favour him. Ends up with Riley. Riley over the top to John Cock, and he holds onto the football.
Really clever play there by Riley. Young Wollongong boy in Sydney seized his opportunity late in the season, but just summed up the situation well. Now, to say the Crows need this right now is an understatement, but if they can kick this, still plenty of time.
They've kicked 5 in 3 3/4 quarters, and they need to find 4 in the last 6.5 minutes. This must be one. And he's offline. You heard the moans.
The set shots have let them down, clearly, but even that taken into consideration, Sydney have just seemed to be able to control the final game. It's a game played a lot between the ears, and those experienced players of Sydney have held up.
What about this stat? 1-7 from set shots today, the Adelaide Crows. Sydney, 5 straight.
They say bad kicking's bad football.
That's the ball game right there, isn't it? McVeigh then from the back pocket, slowing the game down, and Reid, big mark. And again, he'll be happy to use, well, not his full allocation of 20 seconds, perhaps because O'Keefe was on.
6 seconds, I think, Baz. That's all you get around the ground.
Okay.
I know you go back to West Perth days when you probably had that many.
You're a stickler, Mick, aren't you? Well, fair enough. He's called to go, O'Keefe, and out towards Mumford. 20 was a bit generous, wasn't it? Here's John Cocky, missed the last one. Now he wobbles the ball towards the 50. Going out's probably the best result for Adelaide because Sydney have got the numbers. And Nick Smith mops up, kicks back, Jack marks. And all 6 seconds, Mick, about to be used again.
30 if you're one of those forwards, mate, that has a shot from 50 plus. Backline players like you, Tommy, wouldn't have only had 6 seconds at best.
Had to always rush, Mick.
Mumford, pressed by Dangerfield, ends up with Rutten, Thompson, Vince. Oh, Bird, brilliant. Held him, stopped him in his tracks. Little ball over the top, and the boundary line again wins the day. It's like the Swans got the exam paper early. They've had all the answers all day.
Yep. There's been no question about that. They've been challenged, but they haven't looked like buckling.
So Pike in contention for the most improved player in the universe, does the rucking. Jack quickly kicks. Vince, good in traffic. Doughty, now to Douglas. How do they manufacture something from here? A long ball to half forward. In the end, strong hands again from Matt. A mark or free kick. Either way, the Swans again stop the Crows going forward.
We're talking about the homework there, Hamish. Marty Mattner's that to a T. Nothing but absolute admiration and respect for the Sydney Swans. They play to a system. They back themselves in. They've come over here. They've prepared well and have put on an absolute clinic in finals footy.
And Kennedy will get 50. And not only will he absorb some of the clock as he lines up for goal, but he can put more scoreboard pressure on. I mean, we spoke about their run on the road. They've travelled 10 times for 7 wins on the road this year. They played one final here before at Amy, and they beat the Power by a couple of goals. That was in 03 when the Power had finished minor premiers. They've become a bit of a anywhere, anytime team. I know Ross Lyons pushed that hard, but Kennedy, what a season. Can he put it out to 5 goals? Just starts right and comes back. And the Swans can do no wrong. What a season he's had. What a season the Swans have had. And suddenly, we've got it out to 30 points. A game high, 30-point lead, and the Swans are in seat 1A in September.
Fans starting to make their way out. What a player he has been today. So tough. Kennedy with 34 disposals. Out they go. So it will be a home semi-final next week against the winner of Geelong and Fremantle for the Adelaide Crows. And the ball kicked back into defence again. Doughty marks. Chip kick is on, and Dangerfield through the middle he goes. A long one. Down in the Tippett direction. He's done that a number of times today. Got his hands to it. Just hasn't been able to mark Walker. Bottom of the pack. He did release it. Tippett went down. The ball is still alive, and Sydney arrive. They're going to tie it up. And with the lead at 30 points and 3.5 minutes to play, it'll be bounced inside 50 for the Crows.
A short time ago, you mentioned the job that Richards and also LRT have done. Well, Walker and Tippett coming into this game averaged 12 marks between them. They've taken just 7 this afternoon. So it's been a great defensive effort from the 2 big defenders.
Thompson's handball forward, right. Ball close to the line. Parker's done well. Kept it forward in front of O'Keefe. And now the umpire said bit of sliding in and some high contact, I think, against poor Pleasure.
I know a helmet can attract some attention, but it's certainly attracted my attention. Kieran Jack has been outstanding.
Just hot off the press, Friday night football, the second semi will now be Adelaide versus the winner of the Cats and the Dockers, and Saturday night will be Collingwood versus the winner of West Coast and North Melbourne. So the tide's out for Adelaide at the moment. It needs to come in quickly by next Friday night. Adelaide versus the winner of Geelong and Fremantle. What an afternoon for the Swans. They have a week off, and the next match will see Jude Bolton celebrate game 300. Pike off hands, couldn't take it cleanly. McKay, Jetta smothered. McKay, the recovery, brilliant to Riley, and now to Smith. And this is where they've broken down all afternoon. This time, John Cock gets hit on the chest.
It's been really good. Brodie Smith been given the task of minding Adam Goods. He's done it admirably in the second half.
Well, a long ball from John Cock, last line. And again, it's Malcheski who just gets a hand onto it.
One more shot, many more entrances, but most of them are outside 50 or shallow entrances, and that's been the difference really. The Adelaide side forcing Sydney forcing Adelaide to be under pressure almost all day long.
Really set up for Sydney now, isn't it? A home preliminary final. The last time they won the right to host a home preliminary final, they made the grand final. That was back in 2006. Didn't win it, of course, that year, but got as close as you can without winning it. Here's Teddy Richards. Superb all season, superb all day. Malcheski back to Richards, hugs the line, goes with a long kick, and Jack will it sit for him. He got a bit of time. Eventually, Riley closed the gap. We've got a player down for the Adelaide Crows, and gee, that's a big story there. Socket forward, there he is. You can see him in screen, and that was a long kick out of mid-air by Petrenko. And this doesn't look good. They're calling for the stretcher now. The arms have gone out. This is what happened, lads.
It's hard to work out what really did happen.
No, I think it's just, I mean, it's
bit of jarring on the knee.
No, it's the elbow or the forearm to the head, but nothing malicious there. From not suggesting it was intentional from Jude Bolton at all, but that was the knock to the head.
Well, haven't the seasons changed for these two sides this afternoon? So Sydney will have a week off and await the winner of Collingwood and the winner of West Coast and North Melbourne, and Adelaide have to front up against either the reigning premiers or Fremantle, who are in red hot form.
Well, Mick, let's forecast to the Swans preliminary final. We've all really enjoyed the work that Lewis Roberts-Thompson's done across half-back. They'll get Heath Grundy back. How do they structure up defensively?
Well, I know there's a big call, but I know that they'll probably try to get Lewis Thompson back to the half-forward line, Roberts-Thompson back to the half-forward line, but he's so much quicker and assured in the back line. I'd like him back there because of his pace. Grundy's got grunt, but not a lot of pace, and I think as you come into the finals, look, it might be just an option that during the match, if something's not working out, you can always put him back there. He's such a reliable player, Roberts-Thompson.
Well, a big crowd and a largely disappointed crowd.
Fourth highest too, Hayne, between these two teams. Fourth highest crowd. Walker infringed. Richards not happy with the call, but he should be happy with his day's work.
Worked really hard today, Taylor Walker, but Teddy Richards, he's my All-Australian centre-half back. He's been absolutely outstanding.
So Walker bombs the ball in long, and that suits Malcheski, who stands underneath the football. So tough. And he'll take his time getting up. Sydney absolutely superb today. 11 goals, 5, and possibly more importantly than that, they've restricted Adelaide to just 5 goals. They've kicked poorly, the Crows 5-12, but Sydney absolutely superb. Jack to McVeigh, and the ball close to the line. It'll be thrown in.
So the Crows will register unless something changes in the last 15 seconds. Their lowest score of the year, their previous low, 49 points against the Pies. It's been lean and slim pickings for the Crows this afternoon, but the afternoon has all been about the Swans. They have been simply magnificent. From the get-go, they are underdogs and they reign supreme. And the Swans They've proven themselves road warriors. Another win on the road, and suddenly they're just one win at home from a start in the last game of the season. The Swans by 29 points. Cheers, cheers.